What is up, everyone? John here, and in today's video I want to show you guys how to get a more aggressive shave from your safety razor. Any safety razor. It could be this little Vanderhagen Weishi Micro Touch 1 generic razor like this. This is the Vanderhagen rebrand, the one that I got, but it's basically a Weishi 9306. Or you can have maybe a vintage Gillette Super Speed, or maybe you have a 3-piece. Maybe you have a Gillette Tech. Maybe you have a Mercor. Maybe you have a Edwin Jagger. Maybe you're all Mr. Fancy Pants up in here. You got one of those. And I've been eyeballing one. I know what you're looking at out there. But in all seriousness, if you want a more aggressive shave, this works for pretty much every safety razor, and it's a lot less finicky. A lot less finicky than using shims. Because if you've ever used shims, you know, you ruin your scissors cutting the edges, cutting the edge off of them. And if you start doing a lot of shims, it really becomes a pain in the butt to keep up with the shims. It's like 2 shims, 3 shims. When you go to dispose of your expired razor, the shims try to come out with it, and you got to keep up with the shims. So now you've got a 6-piece razor basically instead of a 3-piece because you got 3 extra shims to keep up with. So this is a much easier way to do it. And what it is, I'll go ahead and end the suspense here, is I've used tape in here. Medical adhesive tape to be exact, and the reason I use this is for the thickness of it. This is about 0.010 of an inch thick, and what that means is it's about the thickness of 1.5 razor blades. So 2 strips of this on each side will give you roughly the same thickness as, or the same shim height as 3 blade shims, which means that you can get a nice aggressive shave with just two strips of tape in there, and you can see that they're nice and out of the way. They don't, you know, if you care about aesthetic in any way, they don't show underneath. Let me get it to focus here. I'm sorry, guys, if that was out of focus. This camera has face tracking, so it tends to track faces and focus on faces. That's just what it does. It does a good job at that. But yeah, I've just got 2 little strips of tape in there, right on the edge. And where you want the tape positioned is right underneath the very edge of your top guard. And what that's going to do is it just lifts the blade up, gives you a little more blade gap, and just gives you a more aggressive shave. In this case, I can get like 5 days beard growth, and this thing takes it off in one pass. One pass. And I get like no irritation because it's not like super aggressive. I kind of got to work it a little bit to get that kind of beard growth off, but it takes it off no problem, and it does a really good job with it. Second pass, 2-pass shave is just as smooth as any other 2-pass shave. Another benefit I've noticed after doing this is that the blades actually last longer. And it's not that the blades themselves are getting dull less quickly, it's just that I don't have to have them as sharp for them to grab the hairs now, as I did when the razor was so mild. So now that it's more aggressive, it just grabs those hairs and just cuts right through them. Just no problem. And I can get, you know, now 4 shaves out of a blade with this thing, rather than the blade just lasting 2 shaves before it starts missing hairs and leaving them behind. Super good job now with this. And honestly, I was going to upgrade to an Edwin Jagger. I was. And after doing this, I mean, I'm sure I'll do it eventually. I'm still eyeballing it. I want one. But this has really negated the need for it. And honestly, I'm pretty satisfied even with this little cheap razor now after doing this modification. If you want your razor a little bit more aggressive, be sure to give this little trick here. Be sure to give it a try. That's pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave it a like down below and subscribe to me if you want to see more videos from me, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.